Okay, so this is kind of for Canadians because it has to do with the Canadian passport and its strength against the US passport. So there's an index, I think it's called the Henley or Henkley Index. I think it's back there. And oh, there it is. Henley Passport Index. And basically, it ranks the passports in the world for their strength and visa free travel and so on, and some of the perks and defenses that these passports have. And everybody knows the new Canadian passport has been updated. That's what it looks like now. And I don't know if you know this, but I had a new passport last year. I went through everything to get a new passport, and it's pretty awesome. But basically, today we found out that the Canadian passport ranks higher on this index than the US passport, which is just like shocking because before they used to rank around the same, kind of like seven out of like, I don't even know how many passports there are in the world, but they were like in the top 10. And now Canadian passport's just under, it's in like number 9. And the US passport has fallen to 12, obviously. 12 because of all of the problems with the trade war and everything, and perception of the United States all around the world and everything that's happening there. But yeah, the Canadian passport has moved into 9th place above the US passport, which is really shocking. And it has more to do with like visa free travel, right? Remember what's happening in the US right now with all like the public events like the World Cup, for example, and then having all these people detained in the country, you know. So, really, really shocking to me for that. But there's a bunch of new rules too all over the world. Like in the EU, there's rules about needing to get a visa even if you're Canadian now, right? And I think in Brazil, there's like a rule now that says you have to get a visa to travel if you're a Canadian as well. So there's a bunch of different rules, so I can understand why the ranking would go down a little bit. You can't get in everywhere, but it's virtually everywhere that you can get in pretty easily and have visa free access with a Canadian passport, which is just like, yes. If you want to go on like an excursion or learn a little bit about a different country, or if your family's in an obscure place all around the world, like Papua New Guinea, for example, there's a list of places where it says that before we didn't have access to, and I'm pretty sure one is Papua New Guinea and like Uzbekistan and places like that, that now Canadians have access to without a visa. And there we go. So, US passport holders don't have access to places like Belarus and Papua New Guinea and Uzbekistan without a visa, but Canadians do. And now they have like places like Bolivia and Rwanda as well. So, it's just like, yes, the strength of the Canadian passport is, getting better and better every day. I'd like to see this in a graph form because that'd be great to see, who or which country has the strongest passport in the world. What do you think about this?